there?
Well, what people don't know is that we tried to start, it wouldn't connect. That failed, did connect, and so we went.
Okay,
But
I was a little confused.
okay.
I'm glad you
Okay. Yeah.
clarified, because also it's weird because people didn't hear any of this. The episode literally started with you saying, and the episode wouldn't connect. The YouTube version.
Why are you back in that apartment? Oh, is that... No, that's your current apartment, isn't it?
Where'd you think I went?
For a moment, my brain went, he's gone back to... And now he's... This is not going well.
Where did you think I went?
Should we start again?
Yeah, I think we have to.
Okay, here we go. People won't notice. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, welcome to the Wrestling Escape Pod, and welcome to this very special episode. And it is a special episode because this is our Royal Rumble Fallout video. I am joined by the Boston boys themselves, Tommy, Toy, Travels, Twins. How are you, boys? How are you, lads? Doing good over there?
Daze, I want you to know,
yeah,
you were a big topic of conversation at my Royal Rumble party I went to. We, at one point, muted the show commentary to listen to you react.
Oh, yeah.
And
how many people were there?
Like 4,000. Yeah, that 4,000. It was a big pub event.
Big pub. I was at a big pub event as well.
I saw. I was very proud of you.
Yeah, I was going to bring Keith on.
Keith Lee?
Sure. Good. Where did you go?
Somerville, Massachusetts.
Okay. Okay. Sounds like a horror film.
What would you do if I moved out of Boston? How would you react to that? What if I was no longer the Boston boy? How would this channel move on?
Well, I'd just have to change wherever you lived.
You wouldn't say the Boston boy anymore?
I don't think so. I think I'd want to update it. You've got to move with the times and keep things fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. So you was at a party with models, lots of attractive women.
And men.
Women. And you was watching the stream and they were all really into it, yeah?
Oh, of course. Yeah. They loved your accent.
Oh, that'll do it.
They couldn't handle what you were saying because you're British.
Right. So, does that work in Boston, by the way?
Oh, every time you went, the Nux, everyone was losing it. They thought it was so funny.
Wow. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You're over, man.
I'm over in Boston.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, to me, I can't hear an accent. Obviously, no one can hear their own accent, but I should imagine I do sound quite dashing. I could believe that. I could believe that.
Because you say the Nux.
The Nux. Do I say the Nux?
You did say the Nux. You were talking about Logan Paul match.
Oh, that's when you tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of that finish?
No, not we. I don't think it was on the TV.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Actually, it was probably on the TV.
Right.
I was watching you, though.
Okay, thank you. So does that mean that you largely thought what I thought?
What do you think? That it was a good match? Did you like the show?
Well, people know my thoughts, so this is our opportunity to get your thoughts.
Okay, I'll tell you this. We want to go match by match?
Sure.
Okay, it opened up with the Women's Rumble. Thing about these Rumbles is that they're fun while you watch it, yeah?
Yeah.
But then when you get home, after the night on with the pals, and you really start thinking about the match, and you realize you lost sleep, and you sleep till 10 the next day, and you're a little buzzed and hungover, you realize that it wasn't as fun as it could have been. You know, we didn't have any throwbacks. We didn't have Wheezy Blonde show up. We didn't have Pokimane, any influencers. And I think that's where WWE went wrong with the Rumble. Is that there weren't enough influencers in the Rumble. Like, I really did appreciate Jordan Grace as a TNA stan, as a Beyond Wrestling stan. It
That'll
was
be
cool to see her.
big for you on Thursday.
What do you mean big for me on Thursday?
Slap her in the thumbnail.
Oh, that. What do you think? I'm half distracted because that's what I'm doing right now.
Right.
There's no sleep for the wicked.
No. Are you you're the wicked, are you?
Wicked West, the Wicked Witch of the West. So we watched Drag Race before watching the show of the Rumble.
Yeah.
And I kind of feel like that was a better show.
Okay.
But the women, I always enjoyed the Women's Rumble. It was a little sloppy, but I feel like the most exciting pops came from that one.
Yes. Yeah, the general consensus was the Women's Rumble was better than the Men's Rumble. Although, that was not shared on 411 Mania.
Who's that?
Who's that?
Is that like cage match, but for losers?
It's cage match for winners. Right? You'll hear about it soon enough. Tony Khan will move on to it. No,
okay.
411 Mania, they just do like articles, whatever, but I find them quite useful because they tend to put their reviews up very, very quickly. Like I think they write them during the shows, and then like as soon as the shows are over, bang, they can get their review up, and it usually has a score out of 10 and all that kind of stuff. So I tend to go to them just for to be honest, not even for their opinion. I go to them because I like to record what actually happened during the show. I've got a document that tells me what happened on all the previous Raws and NXTs, which I fill in like each week. And it just helps me keep track of things. So I've been doing that for a little while, but I always go to them for that because it saves me having to write notes. It's basically I've got someone that can do it for me. But I went and looked at their Royal Rumble. Yeah, I'm cheating. I'm not submitting a paper or anything, so it's fine. But yeah, they gave the Women's Rumble a lower score than the men's, and I was really, really surprised because I haven't.
Do you think they're sexist?
I think they are sexist. I think they're sexist. I think they're racist.
Well, I think the big issue too that not a lot of people are talking about is that the Women's Rumble had criminals under active investigation. So that
is so true. That is so true. How did you feel about a criminal being at number 30, and why did she not come down in the police van like Dominic did at WrestleMania?
I don't know.
That would have been sick. Could you imagine if at number 30 just sirens went off, a police vehicle came out, and she jumped out the back all cuffed, like her legs were shackled, her hands were cuffed, she was in an orange jumpsuit, and all she could hear was like sirens going off and like she was being led down. And someone in the crowd said something and she was like this, trying to get at them.
With like the tears
coming down. And she's coming down. You can hear her go up to a kid in the front row, little kid. She goes, "Have you got any drugs like that? Have you got any drugs?"
Yeah.
In your hair.
Yeah.
Like this. And the kids just starts crying.
Because it's Brady. And he thought it was Alexa Bliss.
Yeah. It's Brady, and he can't tell Alexa Bliss from Liv Morgan. Why didn't they do that?
Probably because it was thrown together. They started doing it on Thursday. They did the dry run on a Thursday. Yeah. So
it was probably the Vince allegations.
Yeah, that did come out the same day that they were doing the round about the run, right? Wasn't that Thursday? He was out Friday.
Yeah. Did he do it?
What, the Rumble?
What, the allegations?
I'll tell you this.
Oh yeah.
I'm better than Triple H because I actually read it. I care more about his company than he does.
Yeah, I've got to say, it's funny. I was just listening to Dave Meltzer, right? And I was just listening to the Wrestling Observer, and there is really a lot of people that don't like Dave Meltzer, right? He does not have as strong a standing as he used to, let's say 10 years ago, right? I think since AEW came along and, he's kind of been down on WWE, and he seems to be a bit more lenient with AEW. It's upset a lot of people. I've always tried to stay in the middle with it, right? And not get, dragged into all of that stuff. But he keeps banging this drum about that Triple H should have said something different during the press conference. And he just was talking about it there after the Royal Rumble. And I was listening to him because I was like, okay, make your point then. It was waffle on a level I don't think I've ever experienced before. Like, the point he was trying to make was so nonsensical. I mean, honestly, try and check it out if you can. Like, Dave Meltzer.
Are you out here insulting my God, Dave Meltzer?
I believe I am for this one. I believe I am. Listening to, because Triple H came out at the press conference and basically said, look, I'm not going to get into that. We're not going to focus on the negatives. We're going to talk about the positives. It's been an amazing show. I think the Superstars just did an amazing job. And a lot of people went, what else can he say? What else would you expect him to say? And that wasn't good enough for Dave Meltzer. So this was Dave's opportunity to tell us what he wanted Triple H to have said. And it's just a load of nothing waffle. I mean, there's no way that Triple H can say anything. Because if he says anything, he's going to get...
honestly, in my opinion.
Go on.
In my opinion.
You do better than Dave, then.
He could have come out and said, hello, everyone. I know, because Dave Meltzer did touch upon it more. In the sound clip you heard, you probably didn't hear everything, because...
Well, I didn't hear everything.
You heard everything.
No. I was listening to it when you joined.
He said that Vince by name should have been directly called out. Should have said, I know everyone has heard the allegations about Vince McMahon and his resignation. Unfortunately, this is an active, ongoing investigation, and legal has advised me not to speak about it. So unfortunately, nothing will be said. With that said, I'm very happy to talk about the Royal Rumble, and hopefully in the future we can touch upon that other subject.
So but my response is, how is that any different to him turning around and saying...
It's better than saying, let's not focus on the negative, because that makes it seem like... Bro, you're talking about someone who, did you read it?
I read the lawsuit.
That's a massive... That's so tone deaf to what's going on in the company and the what is really happening, just to be I don't want to focus on the negative. That's
you can't talk about it.
Yeah, but you can say something better than, I don't want to focus on the negatives. This has been a great week for the company, when it hasn't been.
Well, I can't remember if you said this has been a great week for the company. I would agree if he'd have said that was the wrong thing to say. But I think he said that it was a successful show, and that he's pleased of everyone that had put all the work in. The point is, no one has said that Triple H could have said anything, right? I've not heard anyone say, I should have gone through it and spoke about what he knew and all that. I've not heard anyone say that, because I think everyone knows he can't. So it just comes up to, how do you want him to say, basically, that he can't say anything? That's what it comes up to. So for me, Triple H turned around and went, look, not going to focus on the negatives of this week. I'd rather focus on the positives. We've just put on this really successful show, and, I'd much rather focus on that. That to me is him basically saying, I can't talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. We can't talk about it, right? But he's trying to say it in a way that is not that, right? You're saying, why didn't he just come out and say, look, legal have advised me that I can't talk about it? He could have said that. He absolutely could have said that. But that to me is the same answer. That to me is the exact same thing. But it's just...
different.
How? How is it different?
Different. Because he's saying that it was a great week when it wasn't.
But hang on, did he say it was a great week?
According to Redemption
He said
in the
he
comments.
said it was a great show.
According to Redemption.
I don't know if I've got a transcript of what Triple H said.
Let's pull up. Let's pull up.
Is there a transcript? The point I was trying to get to anyway was I disagree with that part, right? I think that he can't talk about it, and so he has got to find a way of just saying, like, I can't talk about it. Whether he says it's legal, I can't talk about it, or I don't want to focus on the negatives, I want to focus on the positives. Either of those to me is acceptable. The only bit that I heard that I did go, I wouldn't have said that, is the bit when he said, I haven't read the transcript. That was the bit where I was like, oh man, that's not good. That bit, I agree, that bit's not good. I can understand why he's not read it, right? I can understand why he's not read it, because that is a big thing for him to sit down and find time to go through, because it's one thing to read it. I think it's another thing to really get into it, you know? And so he could read it and he could at least have an awareness of it, and he very well may have done that. He may have read it and he may just be like, no, I don't want to, because then that maybe just gets rid of follow-up questions, you know? If he in the couple of days, because it came out just a few days before the Rumble, if he had have sat down and read it, and he very well could have, if he says that he is then potentially opening himself up to follow-up questions, which he is just going to have to keep saying and finding different ways to say, I'm not going to talk about it, I'm not going to talk about it. If he says, I haven't read it, then the only question that will come back is, why haven't you read it? And he can say, because I was getting ready for the Royal Rumble. So, yeah, I mean, look, I don't think he handled it that badly, personally. I watched it and I didn't think it was that bad. I certainly didn't think it was as bad as what Dave Meltzer said. But in regards to I'm looking for the transcript. I'll keep looking as we're talking.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
Oh, are you? In regards to the
Okay,
Rumble.
Then it was the men.
Yeah.
To be honest, no, it was the triple threat, which, to be honest, I didn't watch. We turned on Collision because we wanted to see that match, the cage match. And then it was you talking about Logan Paul, which was quite enjoyable. And then it was the men's match, which started out, what was that? Something dumb like 11:20.
Mm-hmm.
I was falling asleep. I honestly don't remember much. Andrade came out at fourth. I think I went to the bathroom like 5 times. And then it was over.
So what would you score it out of 10?
The whole show?
Yeah.
2.
2? Really?
There were only 4 matches.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yeah.
Like, why does every other show have like 8?
Well, I mean, it was only 4 matches, but it did go for like 4 hours, didn't it? The show last year had 5. So I think the Rumble is like one of those different sort of.
I know, I'm being a jerk, Daze.
Oh, okay. Okay. In regards to Cody, Seth, how'd you feel about that for WrestleMania?
Great, especially after someone had to break his butt again. His arm.
Okay. Do you think it's a work? Because there's a few people that think it's a work.
Who? Name names.
Mr. Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins is full of garbage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if it's a work, then that would be so dumb. Why would it be a work? To make a surprise appearance?
I think there's a few reasons why it could be, but I don't think it is either. I don't think it's a work. I've listed a few bits on my Twitter when someone asked me this question, and it would be a work because it would be a way of explaining why he wasn't at full strength to win the Rumble and why Cody won the Rumble. It would be a reason as to how you avoid him having a match before WrestleMania. It would be build up a lot of sympathy for him that maybe doesn't exist. So it actually gets a lot of sympathy put onto him. Like I could find reasons as to why you would do it. It's another twist on the road, rather than it being a straight road. All of a sudden now it's got everyone talking. Maybe as well it pushes those Vince allegations a little further down the visibility list because everyone's, like us now having a chat about CM Punk and his injury. So yeah, I think we could probably find some reasons, but no, I don't think it's a work. I don't think that they are doing that. Mainly because he says that he's going to struggle to get to WrestleMania. Mm-hmm. And WrestleMania is obviously in April, so how the hell is he going to get to Elimination Chamber? Because Elimination Chamber is apparently, and obviously plans can change, but apparently that's where we're going to figure out who Seth's opponent is going to be. Like the winner of the Chamber was going to be the person that was going to face Seth. I read something earlier that apparently someone got in touch with Better Wrestling Experience and said...
Hang on. What is that?
So that's an insider source. Someone that's, a bit like a WrestleVotes. So they came back, they got in touch with them and they said, now that Cody has won the Rumble, does that mean that we're going to figure out Seth's challenger via the Chamber? If so, would people like Punk, Sammy, Drew, would those be the kind of names to expect? That was the question he was asked. And apparently the response was bingo. Apparently the response was, that was it. Bingo, yes. So, according to Better Wrestling Experience, who came out and confirmed what this person was asking, that seemingly was the direction we were going.
Hang on. Who is Better Wrestling Experience, though? Is this a legit, or is it fake?
It's legit. It's weird because I had never heard of them, and then all of a sudden people like Cultaholic and Wrestle Talk and everyone were putting out these quotes and they were attributing them to BWE. And sometimes it was BWE, sometimes it was Better Wrestling Experience. And so I tried to find them on X. You can't find them, right? I tried to find them on all social medias. You can't find them. And the reason is I don't know. Do you know, this is something I don't know actually. Their Twitter account is locked. And it's Boozer666, I think it is, at Boozer666. And the thing I don't know is how do people know that they are called Better Wrestling Experience? I don't know where the name came from because they don't use that on their Boozer666 thing.
Boozer Brody.
Boozer Brody. So yeah, that is where it came from. They're saying that it was going to be the Chamber. Obviously, plans can change, but I don't think this is an injury that you're wiped out for months for. I don't think this is an injury that you would come out with and say that you've got as a fake injury. I think we could find something that's maybe a little less severe because this is one that tends to have months and months and months of recovery. So it does beg the question, how is he meant to be in a Chamber match to then go on to face Seth? I know that wrestlers make these miracle recoveries, but if he is going to magically, be good enough to get into a Chamber in 4 weeks, that is a stretch, and that is going to be
that's going to happen.
That is going to be a bit cringe if that's what they're doing. So that's why currently I don't think it's a work, and if it is a work, I don't know how well it'll be received. To be honest, I don't know how well it'll be received. Yeah, Rumble I thought was I like the women's. The Roman match I thought was so. The Kevin Owens-Logan match, I actually enjoyed the finish. I thought it was quite creative. And the men's match, I thought was okay, but yeah, not as good as the women's. I thought the women's had a lot more kind of like moments. I mean, like you've got Bianca and Jade kind of staring at each other. Jordan Grace coming in from TNA. Jordan Grace looking amazing, fantastic.
Yeah,
in the Rumble.
I'm gonna be honest. When she was doing moves with Ivy Niles, Ivy looked garbage compared to Jordan.
Yeah.
How do you feel as a WWE droid?
Yeah.
A WWE drone who sits on Twitter all day, tweeting about how great WWE is and pooping on AEW fans. What's thoughts? Thoughts on TNA finally showing how good they are?
I thought that it was. I think Jordan Grace is an amazing talent. I think that I hope she comes to WWE. I would worry, as someone that doesn't watch TNA, I would worry that once you get past that kind of top layer of TNA, like, I don't know what the quality is like. I don't think they're stacked full of Jordan Graces. I know there's Josh Alexander that people really like. I think there's affection for Moose as well, but I don't know.
Moose.
Yeah.
And well, there's also Alex Shelley.
Yeah, but I mean, there would be crickets if Alex Shelley came out.
You don't know who he is?
Well, I mean, was he in the Time Splitters?
Yeah.
But outside of that, I couldn't. I mean, like, outside of that, I've got no idea what he's done with his career now.
Well, what was Williams' rating on the Royal Rumble? Did anyone find out?
William Hensey?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that they're quite high because I think as soon as another criminal came out on screen, that really piqued his interest. So as soon as Liv Morgan came out, criminals love being amongst other criminals. Yeah. It just makes them feel like they're back in the big house. So, you know, as soon as she came out, I think William got flashbacks of, you know, the showers, got flashbacks of like queuing up at dinner time and, you know, seeing the person in front with a shank. And it just really brought like a lot of memories back, a lot of fond memories. And I think it meant that his score went up several points. So I think he was actually quite giving, William Hensey.
Well, my real question is actually, what were your thoughts on Jade Cargill? As someone that has never watched any AEW, to see so many AEW stars on the show, what was it like seeing Jade Cargill for the first time ever?
Well, to go back to your, just finish on your TNA one, I think it's great that Jordan Grace was in there. I agree with you. She looked better than Ivy Nile. I don't know that we're quite comparing oranges with oranges because
we are.
Okay. But I thought it was a really good showing, and I would love to see them work with NXT. All right. In regards to Jade's, there wasn't loads that I think you could get from her appearance because I think I saw she was only in for like 11 minutes or something. It's surprisingly short. It's one of those where it feels like she was in for quite a while, but I'm sure on Wikipedia it lists it as actually surprisingly short. So there wasn't loads you could get from it. I thought the spots with Nia were incredible. You know, with her picking up Nia. Not only did she pick up Nia, but there's a moment where she's got her on the shoulder and she flashes a bicep, like, boom, shows the guns off, like, and she's got Nia's weight on her and she's like, this is, you know, no issue. And then I think they go over to the side and she picks her up and eliminates her again on her own. I mean, they really went all out to make her look as great as they could within the time frame. She didn't get tons of eliminations, and actually Nia got the most eliminations, got 8 eliminations. Amazingly, Bayley got 7. So Bayley was very close to getting...
Bayley's the new Roman Reigns?
Yeah, she was very close to getting the most eliminations. She got 7, Nia got 8. And then I think most of the other people were quite low down on the elimination chart. But yeah, I thought Jade looked good. I thought they used her well. Get in, do what you got to do, get back out, and on we go. Don't know when we see her next, though. And I don't know what the plans will be for WrestleMania, because a lot of people want Jade and Bianca now. But that feels unlikely because of the fact that that's a lot of pressure to put on Jade to have a big WrestleMania singles match against Bianca with the eyes of the world on her. I don't know if that's not something we need to put on hold and do at, say, 41, and instead do something else with her where she's a little more protected. So, yeah, I thought that she looked good for as long as she was in there. What were your thoughts on R-Truth?
I thought that was hilarious. I laughed. I thought it was great.
Which one did you prefer, him coming into the women's or him trying to tag into the men's?
I think I know Rob, D21 Beast, loved the tag in. Both were really funny, but for me, what popped the most was him just running down to the women's match and hearing his music. I love that.
He is so good at just really getting into it. Like, you can't see anything. You know, there's no like corpsing that he does. There's no like he just it looks confused, doesn't he? I mean, he comes down and he's like looking at Adam Pearce and he's looking at the women and he's in the ring. And he's like, where the guys at? Where the guys at? And there's just no tell, no give. He's just like this amazing actor that just delivers this content and delivers it absolutely like a film actor would. And it just makes it so much more enjoyable. So, yeah, I think I did say I was just a bit worried that not the Rumble, but if we use him at like the next pay-per-view, as much as we did at the Rumble, I'm a bit worried that it might start to grind on people. It might start to like get a bit OTT. But I thought, it's very hard to criticize because him being in the women's was funny. Him trying to tag into the men's, I thought might have been even funnier. And then he was doing like great stuff on the kickoff show backstage. I mean, he wished people happy WrestleMania day. He was trying to open up the baseballs backstage because he thought they were the numbers and he wanted a better number. And they had to get pointed out they're not their baseballs. And he was just doing some great stuff all throughout the show. So he is a gem, an absolute gem. I'll tell you who else is a gem before we move on from this topic, and it is Patrick O'Neill. Now, I didn't get a chance to send you this. I didn't get time to send you this, but it is Patrick, and it's Patrick just sharing his thoughts of the Royal Rumble. I will play that now.
Pod, it's Patrick O'Neill. Yes, I've shaved since the last video. Anyway, here's my reactions to Royal Rumble. Bayley winning, I'm happy. She deserves it. Logan winning, don't really care, to be quite honest. Who else? Roman Reigns winning. Happy he won. We the ones. No yeet. Cody winning the Royal Rumble. I'm not a fan of that, but because I want to see Punk to win. But I mean, these things happen, so hey ho. Overall, it was a great show, I think. Personally, for me, the women's Royal Rumble match was better than men's. Just my opinion. But anyway, guys, catch you again soon. Peace.
Boom, there we go. That was Patrick, and that was Patrick's comments on the Royal Rumble. I wanted to talk to you about, and thank you, Patrick, by the way. Really appreciate it. I wanted to talk to you about music for a second, right? Because there is a band which I have always been aware of, which I have never listened to. I will admit, I know kind of the music they create, but I can't tell you, and I know a couple of their album titles, but I couldn't tell you any of the songs. I couldn't tell you how any of the songs go, and but I know the general music that they create. And I heard a piece of their music, and I loved it. I really loved it. And it's a band that I think a lot of people will know. What I was thinking was just playing a little bit, right? And it's, as I said, a band that people know. Some people may have heard of this track. Some people might not. It might not be to everyone's taste. But I think we could just play a little bit. And then my question is going to be to you, Tommy. So this will give you a chance to think about it. Is there...
I have stuff to talk about, too, for you, just so you know.
Well,
so
that's fine. We won't take
Don't
ages.
spend too much time on this.
We won't take ages. But
you dork.
But my question to you is there a band?
Can I swear on this podcast?
I'll go for it.
Fuck you, Vince McMahon. Wasn't that cool?
No, that was fine. Here is...
That was powerful.
That was really powerful.
William is loving it. Can I continue?
I'll play the band, yeah? Okay.
I fucking love watching Rampage because of Harley Cameron. Thank you. I just don't get to swear every day. Oh, is the music playing? Should I keep talking or stop? I don't. Can I? Daze, are you gonna watch TNA this week? Oh, it's Deftones? Playing Deftones?
Yeah?
New metal?
I'm not going to play it at all, but...
Are we going to also listen to Puddle of Mud?
I don't associate those two as being in the same bracket, to be honest.
A Puddle of Mud is like here, right?
Puddle of Mud, I mean, like, Puddle of Muds and... Oh, I don't know. Who else would you put into that pot? You see, I don't think... Is that like the Limp Bizkit?
Downstate.
Is that down... I don't even know who that is.
I give it all away. I let my freedom. That's Downstate.
Oh. Deftones are a band that I've always been aware of course. You know, you hear of them. But I heard this track and I was like, oh my God, that is so... I don't know. I mean, it's a bit shoegazy, but it's also got like quite anthemic at times as well. And I was like, this makes me want to listen to more Deftones. Like, this makes me want to like search for like the best Deftones tracks and see what's regarded as the best tracks, what's the best albums, kind of, you know, go down a bit of a wormhole. And I was like, yeah, man. I was like, and I'll tell you one thing as well. This really makes me think America.
Of Puddle of Mud.
It doesn't make me think Puddle of Mud, but it really makes me think America, USA. It makes me think of a culture that I don't think I've ever actually been a part of. It makes me think a little bit of like, I don't know, a little bit like at one point, that is what the cool kids listen to. You know, in America...
You didn't...
Listen, you shut up. You don't know what
we listened to Puddle of Mud.
You don't know what the Americans were listening to.
Listen,
right?
I lost my virginity to Blurry by Puddle of Mud.
Oh my God, I'm going to be sick. I'm literally going to be sick. That's a mental image I did not need. Oh my God.
Anything is spoken.
Don't sing it. Don't sing it. It only makes it speed up in my mind.
Oh, it's such a good song.
Yeah, so in my mind, I could imagine walking through a college campus, a university campus in the 2000s and hearing this coming out of like the windows. Now you're going to say Puddle of Mud again, aren't you?
No, you all you'd hear was, "Can you take it all away? Throw it in my face." That's literally all you could hear.
Or Train, Drops of Jupiter.
Yeah.
Drops of Jupiter in her hair. Yeah.
It was like those two things.
Nickelback.
Yeah. And everyone in the chat is freaking out at the Puddle of Mud mention because they were in SmackDown versus Raw 2008.
Well, whenever anyone plays that now, I hope they think of Tommy Toy Travels having sexual intercourse.
I lied about that. I'm sorry.
Wow, it's ruined that song forever for me.
I've never had sexual intercourse. Let's be freaking honest here.
Hey, do you want to know another band that's kind of not in a similar vein, but another band that I would say is similar? The National. Have you ever heard of The National?
No, but I do know Linkin Park, and I do know Limp Bizkit, I do know.
But are these in the same brackets? Because these are more credible.
Are you telling me that Fuel and Stained are less credible than the Deftones?
No, but they're not the bands that you just named. I'm saying that Limp Bizkit is less credible than the Deftones.
Hang on.
There's no the.
Less credible than the Deftones?
Well, I don't know who the Deftones are, but Deftones.
Okay, can we just? So you're saying Limp Bizkit, is not on the same level?
I am saying commercially,
the Chocolate Starfish,
and
hot dog flavored water is.
Yeah, I'm saying
not.
Commercially, they were bigger. Critically, not as well received.
Okay, so you played that song, but what about songs that go, "It's just one of those days"?
Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling, rolling, rolling.
I'm telling you, Chocolate Starfish and the hot dog flavored water is the 2000s Pet Sound / Sgt. Pepper.
I think you can tell a lot by an album's front cover.
Yeah. If only we could fly.
Hey, listen, I enjoyed Limp Bizkit whilst they were in that phase. Yeah. I didn't have that album, but you could not avoid that album. It was absolutely everywhere. But I think for me, Deftones, I don't know that they're in that bracket. I feel like these are more
Future generation
arty. I think they've got a bit more credibility. I don't think their work has aged as badly.
Okay.
Have you ever had any experiences with the Deftones? You got me saying it now. They're not even the Deftones.
No, I haven't.
Not listen to them. Don't care about. I thought you was going to go, dude. That's my favorite band.
Well, what song do they do?
Well,
what's their big song?
Well, I don't know. I've only heard this one.
Deftones' biggest song.
That was called Cherry Waves, for those that was enjoying it, by the way. Which,
okay, according to Reddit,
might only be me.
Yeah, I don't know the Deftones, but 1 second. You know what I do like?
M&Ms.
What?
M&Ms.
I don't eat M&Ms. I don't really eat sweets.
Okay. What do you like? That's what I wanted.
What? What did you just tell me?
I don't know why. I love that moment. I'm going to take that out. That's going to be a separate little moment.
Okay. What do you think of the song "Psychosocial" by Slipknot?
Don't know it. I only know.
You don't know Psychosocial?
No, I only know a couple of bits off Iowa.
Psychosocial. You don't know that?
Close my eyes, feel love slipping away. That's on Iowa.
Okay, so I've been so I put on a lot of holiday weight a little too much.
I didn't want to say.
So I'm on a new diet.
It's gone to it's in the face, isn't it?
It's in the.
Oh, is it there as well?
Big freaking tits.
Are you
like I got
really? You doing a calendar?
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. Look at this. Look at that. You see that cleave?
Let's go, man.
Yeah, let's go, girls. Is what I'm saying.
Can I come? Can I come to America and milk you?
You want a motorboat?
Are you getting rid of one?
Yeah, we're Americans. We have so many motorboats.
Oh my god, I would definitely get a motorboat from you.
So to get inspo, I've started watching this British show called Secret Eaters. Do you know it?
Not really.
It's awful.
Oh, okay. Is it about people that just can't stop like going and having a little munch?
It's people that all say like, yeah, I only eat like 1,500 calories a day, and then
put cameras in the house and they're in the biscuit jar.
And they're just like,
right. That sounds like the kind of show that's probably on Channel 5. Sounds like a Channel 5 show.
I loved it for the first 5 episodes, but now I hate it because it's like,
where'd you watch that?
Illegal streaming services.
It was on Channel 4.
And but I do love it though because I'm learning so much about the British, like stones. Everyone's like, I weigh 14 stone, and I'm like,
yeah, that was me. Bro. Literally yesterday. On yesterday's stream, I told everyone I'm 14 stone 4. Turns out I'm a secret eater. I'm a Chad Gable.
Are you a secret eater?
Well, I don't think it's a secret. I mean, I do eat.
Do you like the Indian food? Do you like your biscuits?
Yeah. No, I don't think I've had that.
Is it the pub?
Been to the pub.
Is it the lagers?
Lagers. Yeah, people don't like that. We do say, "Oh, are you having a Chinese this week? Are you having an Indian?" We do say that, and that seemed to offend a load of people on online. They're like, do you say you're going for a Chinese? That's racist and all this kind. It's like, how is it racist? We're having Chinese food. It's their food.
Well, that is what the show's about. How
okay.
you people, how you eat too much Indian food and Chinese food and cheese and lager and biscuits. I'm really happy to know what biscuit means now.
I just need you to know I am not going to be preached to on this subject by an American.
Crisps.
Right.
I also now know what crisps are. Y'all love your crisps,
I would be
right?
mobbed. I would be mobbed by my fellow countrymen if I allowed an American to have a go at me in regards to food and overeating.
Wait, AB, isn't Sinclair paid? What are you saying? Yeah,
I'm saying, you be fat.
Well, that's what they say at the beginning of every episode of Secret Eaters is that the UK is catching up to America.
That's probably true, actually.
Yeah,
that's probably.
It's because of you and your biscuits.
What, me?
Yeah,
me personally. Would you like a biscuit? Would you like a biscuit?
I had no idea. When everyone's saying biscuits, they're just saying cookies.
You like a biscuit?
That's
what I do in my spare time. I go out to the high street. I just run up and down the high street and go, hello, have a biscuit. Oh, I can see you haven't got a biscuit. Would you like a biscuit? There's a biscuit.
And Redemption's out here saying I overeat my vegetables. It is true. I do get upset tummies after I do my live streams. Would you like a biscuit,
Redemption? Have you got a little biscuit?
But biscuits are just cookies, right? Do you have cookies? Or biscuits hard cookies?
What would you call a custard cream?
The hell's a custard cream? Pie?
No, it's
a cream pie?
No, oh my god, not right now, thank you.
Oh, that's a cookie.
That's a cookie.
Yeah, that's a cookie.
Okay, but what then do you call a cookie?
An Oreo is a cookie.
Okay, but what about a cookie?
A cookie's a cookie.
But if you can't say everything's a cookie if it's not a cookie.
Okay, what's not a cookie?
What's not a cookie? You want me to name everything that's not a cookie?
Well, I'm saying custard cream pies are cookies. They're literally white Oreos. I'm looking them up.
We've had this conversation before, you know.
Oh, we have?
Yeah. Have you ever had a digestive biscuit?
Let me Google it.
Google digestive biscuit.
That's like a cracker.
That
looks like a cracker.
So you would call that a cracker?
Probably like a vanilla wafer.
No, it's not a wafer. Are you looking at what it actually looks like?
Well, is it the one with chocolate on top, or does it say sweet time digestive sweet meal?
Sweet time digestive one is fine. I mean, they do tend to have chocolate sometimes on the
I don't know.
reverse.
It looks like some weird hybrid between a Ritz cracker and a cookie.
I mean, this is really what
it's probably a cookie.
This is kind of what a biscuit is, to be honest. This is a biscuit. A cookie, if I was to Google cookie in the UK, That would be a cookie. A cookie tends to be softer, maybe with maybe a chocolate chip in there. That is a cookie, whereas what we just looked at with a digestive, that is a biscuit.
Have you ever had Boston brown bread?
Boston
comes in a can.
Brown what? Bread in bread? Oh my god, no! What's the hell is this? No. I'm trying to think if there's even anything we've got remotely like this, and I don't think there is. No. Is this a speciality just to you?
Oh, it's like a New England type thing. That's why it's called Boston brown bread.
Right. No. Is this what you live off?
Yeah, I had it growing up, and I got it. I had it a few weeks ago when it was snowing because I got nostalgic from my childhood, and Anna Dawes says it looks like malt loaf.
Oh yeah. I think she is definitely correct there. Yes.
Malt flour.
Yes.
Huh. Does it taste like baked beans? Like the molasses of baked beans? The malt loaf?
Malt loaf tastes like base, but what?
Yeah.
What are you on about?
What does malt loaf taste like?
Malty.
Okay, then probably not. So Boston brown bread is just molasses. It's molasses as a bread.
Baked beans.
So it tastes like baked beans as a bread.
Baked beans are I love baked beans. I mean, we live,
dude.
Oh god, live on them.
Every secret eater, they just smother everything with cream and baked beans.
Baked beans. You don't have. Well, maybe you do, but I'm actually looking at a lot of these beans. A lot of these look brown, which is not the beans we have. I mean, I think
red.
Yeah, as a red, the ones that are on this toast here. They're a lot more like red tomato-y but yeah, a lot of these are just there you go. That's an English breakfast there with like red baked beans and sausage and egg and everything. These like brown beans.
Probably the molasses.
I don't know. I can't say I've really encountered.
It's like the Great Molasses Flood of Boston.
I don't know what you're on about.
There was a flood of molasses in Boston.
Okay.
And people died. The Great Molasses Flood was a disaster that occurred on Wednesday, January 15th, 1919, in the North End neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah.
A large storage tank filled with 2.3 million gallons of molasses, weighing approximately 13,000 tons, burst, and a wave of molasses rushed through the streets at 35 miles per hour, killing 21 people and injuring 150.
What's molasses? I mean, I've Googled it. It comes back with a dog. I'm not lying. I Googled it. It came back with a dog.
Vicious substance principally obtained from the refining of sugarcane or sugar beet juice into sugar. Sweet. It's like
molasses. Look at that creature. Molasses. I don't know what I found, but
like you've never had a molasses cookie?
Nope. Molasses cookie. These remind me of like Ben's cookies in the UK, which is they tend to make cookies that are a bit higher and rounder, bit taller. These ones look like they've got some height to them.
Anna Dawes, who is much more cultured than we are, says it's like treacle molasses.
Okay. Never heard of it. Never heard of molasses, but I'm looking at the...
Molasses is thicker and darker.
Ah, I'm looking at the cookies right now. I'd give them a go. It
just tastes like American baked beans.
Okay. So, we didn't really get anywhere with our Deftones conversation. I thought you was going to enlighten me and open up my mind, but you didn't.
We talked about Puddle of Mud. We talked about Slipknot. We talked about Chocolate Starfish. What more do you want?
I suppose...
Parasocial.
So, other than Secret Eaters, was what else did you want to touch on?
Oh, I thought there were other things, but honestly, I forgot.
Okay.
So we already talked about Netflix. We talked about The Rock. We both patted ourselves on the back for doing more homework than Triple H this week. And we got into a big argument about whether Triple H did a good job or a bad job. Oh, we haven't talked about CM Punk's injury.
Yeah, we did. We
Really?
spoke about if it was a work or if it wasn't a work.
And that's it. That should be sufficient for the thumbnail, you think?
Oh.
Bayley to decide. We haven't talked about that.
Well, she's probably choosing EO, isn't she? But it's just how are they going to get there?
Okay, I didn't know that, so thanks for spoiling it, jerk.
I said she's probably.
I thought she was going to pick Rhea.
Yeah, she might do.
Because Rhea's cooler.
Yeah, she might.
What about Seth wanting Cody Rhodes, like, romantically?
Yeah, romantic. Did you not watch Raw?
No.
He got down on one knee. There was flowers. He went, "Do you want a biscuit?" Like this to like that.
But it was an American biscuit.
Yes, and it was very confusing. It was one of those breakfast things. A biscuit. You have that at breakfast, don't you? Breakfast biscuits.
Isn't that what breakfast? Isn't that when you all left Europe?
That's correct. Yeah. It was was we going to break slow or was we going to break fast? And we chose breakfast. Yeah. That is probably the funniest political joke we've ever done.
I try.
Yeah, excellent. We're really going highbrow now.
We are.
We are.
It's because I watch Secret Eaters now. I understand your culture.
You understand British politics thanks to Secret Eaters.
Yeah. So what do you think about Bron Breakker joining Smackdown? Are you going to tune in this Friday, or do you think you're going out with the boys?
I might do both at the same time. Yeah.
Live stream in the pub?
Oh, God, could you imagine if I did start doing that? Imagine if I want to try and have a life, but I also want to keep the channel going. And so I'm like, guys, how you doing? We're in the pub right now. They do have it on. It's going to be difficult to hear it, but we'll pass us the pint, John. Cheers. We'll keep an eye out for it. Let me know what you think about Bron Breakker. If you think Bron Breakker's who he's going to be going after. It's not mine, John. What you want? Jesus Christ. I don't even know what that is. Like, that could be quite fun, couldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I just performed all that seamlessly, just like R-Truth.
Especially if you have, like, Deftones or Puddle of Mud in the background.
Oh, well, I would, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get into Deftones. Did anyone in the community say of a band? No.
No one shouted out any bands. It was all very quiet. People were really not caring. People were just like, I don't like music.
I hate this guy.
Definitely weren't talking.
Why did we allow this guy to talk?
No, people were like shouting out so many bands. I know I saw like Alice in Chains and like.
Hey, that's another band I've never given a listen to that I might turn out that I like. Alice in Chains.
Park, Sublime.
I know Linkin Park. Sublime. That isn't. I'm going to write this down.
Offspring, 9 Inch Nails.
9 Inch Nails. Trent Reznor.
Soundgarden, Temple of the Dog.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? Soundgarden is another band
of. Gonna reach down.
I like Audio Slave.
Okay. What about AC/DC or Faith No More?
AC/DC, yeah.
Rivy gives a shout out to Pearl Jam. Do you know Pearl Jam?
I've heard of Pearl Jam.
Don't call me.
Okay, thank you. I've got
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, I got Guns N'
Roses. Alexa Bliss Gamer shouts out CFO $. And then we got a Nirvana shout out. A late Nirvana and a late Marilyn Manson. And William says, I am not naming the mod. He's not going to name his favorite mod-based music. Because he loves 60s mod era music.
One thing I know about William, he loves the small faces.
Yeah.
He really does. And that is what has got him into trouble in the past.
Yeah. Yeah. He's all about, he watched, what was that dumb movie that
he's really into the kinks.
He is. He is. He loves the mod scene. He's posting his email in the chat because he wants people to email him mod recommendations. He wants throwback mod clubs.
Okay.
He saw last night at Soho, and he loved the vibe of that, how it was about going back to the mob scene.
Well,
mod scene.
He needs to watch Quadrophenia, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
He needs to watch Quadrophenia. He needs to get into, as we said, the small faces, the kinks. He needs to get into
what's that band with like the 4 names?
Mary, no,
Paul.
Pete.
Hang on,
They're not mods.
I'll get it.
The Who are obviously, the big mod band. Trying to think who else there was in the mod scene. Let's have a look. I should have done much better than that. Mod bands. Small Faces, The Jam, but they were in later years. Chords were in later years. Yeah, these are all like later, like mod revival stuff. I'm after.
What is it? Yeah. Dave, D, Dozzy, Beaky, Mick, and Tish.
I've not heard of those. What's that?
Okay. I don't know. They're a mod band.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I've got mod. I'll put it on screen. These are like mod bands, the Chords and whatever. The Jam, definitely. The special. I don't think the specials. Suppose
God, William loves miniskirt wearing women.
Does he?
Especially if they're mods. Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we go. And do you know what? There's a band called The Mods. So that's probably a good starting point.
That's just William and Sonny making music.
With Austin 316 on vocals.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the dream. Right, so your stream's coming up.
You have to go to NXT. I'll ask you one last question from the chat.
Okay.
Redemption wants to know if we will ever do a watch along together. I can answer this. I can say no. I'm not interested in it. So there you go.
In regards to your streams tomorrow, what's coming up?
I'm doing AEW. We're going to be seeing Swerve versus RVD.
Oh.
But the real big thing happening is TNA on Thursday. We're going to see Masha Slamovich in action against Jody Threat. And then hopefully I'll be around Friday so we all can see Holly Cameron and whatever crazy stuff she's doing, who she's kissing, and maybe even buy her kiss card.
Okay. And TNA on Thursday?
Yeah. I said Masha Slamovich.
But it's I don't know what she's on.
She's on TNA Thursday.
Oh. And like, what about Jordan Grace? I was waiting for you to let me.
She's not going to be on the episode. She's teaming up with Trinity in a few weeks. She was on last week's episode in a great match against Trinity.
So they'll do something. They'll play play that Rumble clip, won't they?
I don't know.
Oh, they've got to. You can't have someone from TNA in the Rumble and then the next episode of TNA, she's just not there.
Watson's saying we should co-stream WrestleMania. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Could you imagine? You'd get like so many people unsubscribing because of me.
We could, you could just commentate and talk about the one person, and I'll commentate and talk about the other at the same time. So if it was like Ray versus Dominic, you just tell everyone what Dominic's doing. I'll tell everyone what Ray's doing. Ray's waiting in the ring right now.
Hang on. I need to correct someone in the chat. James Chadwick, we're going to see Trinity in one more match. She filmed one more match before debuting at WWE.
One more match.
No spoilers, but we're going to see her again. Don't laugh, James.
Wow. So there is one more TNA Trinity match.
Yeah.
They should hype the flip out of that.
Well, it's going to be in a few weeks.
Yeah. So hype it.
Hype it. Start hyping now.
Start hyping it. Yeah. Go big. Like,
I don't get hyped.
Check out Trinity's fine.
I stay hyped.
Did people know it was her last match or?
At the time, probably. I don't know.
Depends how they did it, isn't it? I suppose. But if you could hype it as Trinity's last match, if you want to see Trinity for the last time in TNA before she joined WWE, it's on this date. Tune in.
Edward's
on
here.
date.
Sorry, I know you have to go. Edward, you got to come to my stream one time. There's this kid that loves Pokemon and thinks he's an anime girl, and he wants to fight you. He genuinely wants to get in a fight with you, like a boxing match.
Who's
you
this?
got to show up one of these times. There's this kid that shows up every time I stream, talking about how he wants to fight at a McDonald's, and Edward Brown, and it's going to be amazing.
Oh my
and,
god! Hang on. So we've just done a whole episode.
And we haven't talked.
And we have not spoke about the fact someone's calling out Edward Brown.
Yeah.
Edward Quick Hands Brown.
Yeah.
What, they reckon that they can...
They think the power of the Burger King will save them.
Against Quick Hands?
Yeah.
Not a flipping chance.
Yeah.
My money's on Quick Hands.
My money is too.
My money's on Quick Hands Brown.
Yeah, it's huge. So, Edward, you need to stop by sometime and see this kid in action and let him know that you're not afraid. Because right now he's not saying he thinks you're afraid, but
is that what he said? That he said Edward's afraid? I've heard.
I'm
that,
not
actually.
saying that.
I've heard that. I've heard that Edward is afraid. Yeah. And when's your stream? Tomorrow? Well,
yeah, tomorrow.
Will this person be there?
He's usually there. You never know. He'll be there
How
either
big
tomorrow,
is he?
Thursday, or Friday.
Heavyweight.
He has a YouTube channel. Apparently, he fought Grim.
Huh?
Yeah.
So we can see what this guy looks like, and he's fought before.
Yeah. He's been in the ring with Grim.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What you thinking, Quick Hands, eh? Fancy it.
Yeah.
Bit of this, eh? Getting the old Philly shell, eh?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I know you have to go to
You can
NXT,
do it, Edward. You can do it.
I want to give everyone that.
Go on, Edward.
Because he's been showing up and he's been wanting to fight. As William says, yes, he is real.
You know when Rocky's like, Edward could be like, Tommy.
So he's gonna lose, is what you're saying?
No, you no. I told you my money's like this is Rocky from Rocky 2.
Rocky
2,
oh, okay.
Rocky 2, Rocky
Okay.
2. Not Rocky 1, Rocky 2. Oh, man.
Edward 2.
Edward 2. Ah.
Yeah.
Oh man, we need a training montage. We need to train it. You need to get in there. You need to call this guy out. Yeah. You need to give him a piece of your mind. We need to fan these flames.
Yeah.
My God, why have we gone? At one point we was talking about Limpin Park. We could have been talking about Edward.
Well, it's because Edward wasn't posting in the chat. He didn't show up at that point, and I had to give him the notice that he's been called out.
1, 2 to the body. Open up the right hand side. Bang! Right hook. Down he goes.
Yeah.
It's Edward Brown, man. He's gonna mess him up.
Yeah.
He's gonna mess him up. Have you told this guy that he's gonna get messed up?
Yeah, he doesn't care. He still wants to fight. He still wants to fight at a McDonald's or a Burger King. And he said he's going to wear
We'll
cat
choose
ears.
the venue. Thank you. It might be a Denny's.
Okay.
Right? Or it might be a Waffle House.
Wow.
In fact, it's going to be a Waffle House.
Okay.
Bang! Oh. You can do it, Edward. You can do it.
Oh, William says his money's on Pokemon. William's very concerned. Thanks, Pokemon
me and
got
Edward
it in the bag.
we're going to start training.
Oh, yeah?
Running up hills.
And William's going to start training with Pokemon anime girl.
Oh my God, this is going to be like the Battle of Independence.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was. You know, that thing that you give thanks for. It's going to be like that.
It's going to be huge.
If we win.
It's going to be huge.
If we win, we get America back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And you get to say that biscuits are biscuits.
Yeah. If you win, what do you get?
We get to say biscuits are cookies.
Okay. That doesn't seem even, to be honest. We win, we get America.
Yeah. That sounds even to me.
Okay, that sounds even to me.
Everyone in Britain agreeing that biscuits are actually cookies.
That's
huge.
big. That is big, actually. Yeah. That is big. And if we got America, that would do wonders for our GDP.
It would do wonders for us, probably.
You can do. Could you imagine if the hopes of America rejoining the Union of the United Kingdom rested on Edward Brown's shoulders?
That's Pokemon fan 828.
This is the best. Brilliant. Oh, I hate this podcast.
Me too.
If someone says, "Oh, I've never listened to the Wrestling Escape Pod. What's it like?" I'd be like, "Well, it's about an hour-long struggle where we try and find like a conversation to get our teeth into, and then we find it like to the point where we overrun by about 5 minutes. Should have ended ages ago, and everyone's left going, well, that's frustrating because it would have been better if we'd spoke about that for the hour." That's how the pod is.
Yeah. Well, hopefully next week we'll have updates and we'll continue the story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
As long as Edward's not afraid to show up.
Hey, do you know what? People should tune into your stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
If
Pokemon shows up.
To follow the drama.
Yeah.
Hey? To follow the drama. So be there. Right. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Appreciate it as always. And we'll see you again next time. Bye for